YouTube, TroyStarz Trucking. Thanks for tuning in. So in this video, we're gonna go ahead and cover, are Jamaican drivers reliable?
For more videos like this, please subscribe.
Now, I know a lot of people are waiting on this topic because I mentioned it in, a couple of videos. You know, is Jamaican drivers reliable? Really? And what's the purpose of the companies, sending to Jamaica to get more drivers like us to, be a part of their fleet? Now, I did call around and I did try to get some information, some how can I say this now? Quite enough information to have what I'm bringing to you guys more accurate, right? But I only could reach out to a couple that I know personally. So any disclaimer for those who think I misunderstood something or there are more drivers than what I've mentioned in this video, you can go ahead and leave it in the comment section. I will take a look at it, you know what I mean? But so far I'm just talking about what I've known or heard or understand so far. Why I chose to do this video? I chose to do this video because there are things that happened before that was good, and there are things that is happening now that is not so good. So bringing this video to you guys is to give you guys a more understanding of what is now happening and what you can do to change it. So let's start. So, okay. First, we're gonna start like this. When the program started, right, as in truckers from Jamaica come up to drive for companies here in Canada, especially in Nova Scotia, and DC chambers in BC. So this is it. It started off starting off in, I think, 2012, and there were a couple of drivers that came up before me. I know a couple, and one of the drivers was a driver called Raga Raga, right? He's a Rasta friend of mine, and he's also on the cover, he's also on my thumbnail of this video. He goes by the name of Raga Raga, right? He's a Rasta guy that, is from the Sentans area, more to Ochi, you know what I mean? And a lot of guys would know him, right? Well-experienced driver, known as Raga Raga, the bad Rasta man, you know what I mean, from Jamaica, you know what I mean? So he's an article, down-to-earth guy that just give you the energy as it is. You don't hold back anything, you just talk it. He's here now, own his own truck and trailer, of course. He's driving a Peterbilt. Very nice truck with a cat engine. Same like, real Jamaican thing, you know what I mean? I think he have an 18-speed gearbox in there. He's just doing his own thing now. I mean, he's here with his family and kids and stuff like that. But I just bring that to you guys to let you know what route all of this started from. So it was Raga Raga. I had a guy, I think what his name was, Cobry, and Jerry. I can't remember all the names, but they know themselves. They come up in that batch, which will be in 2012, right? When they came here into Canada, it was a company called ADTS and another company called DC Chambers. I don't know if I get it right, but DC Chambers in Calgary, in Castlegar, BC, right? They do B trains, right? So when they came up at first, they went to MTI, that would be driving school in Castlegar. And when they're finished with the school, they was branch off to the company. So DCT Chambers take a couple of drivers, and the other 6 drivers came to Nova Scotia, ADTS. So ADTS put 2 drivers in New Brunswick, 2 drivers in Newfoundland, and another 2 drivers in Nova Scotia. So they were all pair out to each branches. So they were the one that really started all this, right? As in within the program. They are the one that started, they are the one that set the trend or set it, You know what I mean? Then Easton's Transport go ahead and send for their first set of drivers that will be to do teaming, and that would be Beanie Man. We call one guy Beanie Man, and the next one Riley, right? The other driver was Gart and Leroy. You guys know I did that video with Leroy and Melvin. Leroy owning the Kenworth and Melvin owning a Kenworth also. But I did a video with Leroy. That same guy, him, Leroy, and Gart and Beaneman Riley, they're the one that started off at Easton's Transport. They're the one that went to Easton's Transport and show the companies that, listen, Jamaican drivers are the drivers that you need, right? Because they did a tremendous job. They really push out, they really show the company that we can work, right? So they set it, did it right. You know what I mean? So that being said, that was the reason for me being here and a couple of other drivers, because of that program and those guys. So the company had to come back to Jamaica to get more of what's going on at the company at the moment. So they really represent. So I have to give them a round of applause myself and tell them, because for me, a lot of things changed, and it was because of them that set it. So I just want to say hands off to the guys that was here before, right? So upon that, we come into the system. Me and Barry, Smithy, a lot more drivers came into my batch. Melvin, Kevin, those other guys came up before me. They were working for Trimac. Some other drivers were working for Trimac and stuff like that. I don't really know those drivers, so to speak, like know them by name and stuff like that. So that's the reason why I'm not mentioning it in this video, but I know they were here. But I'm just mentioning, like, I start the video off as off who I know, you know what I mean? So yeah. So like I said, I bring this video to present to you guys, to let you know there was a lot of good examples that set, right? So that this program could be suitable and be valuable for the companies. Because no one is not going to invest in anyone that doesn't make sense. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Every company wants to grow. And Easton's really get a good batch, a good result from us. The reason I'm smiling is because it was so much fun when we just get here. In spite of the ups and downs that we have, but there's a lot of changes that happen when we start to understand what the system is about, what is like, what are the advantage of disadvantage, or what, we start to gather more information. We start to understand about Canadian trucking vibes more. Like I said, the purpose of this video is show you guys how it started, where it's going, and where it's at. Where it's at now, at the current moment, there's a lot of guys in Jamaica that is seeking the same opportunity to come, right? But there were some guys that came up in the last batch that would be maybe a couple months ago, or call it a year ago, you know what I mean, before all this thing started. Those guys are making it bad for the guys that is back in Jamaica now. Why am I saying this? Reports are that most of the guys that came up now, once they get the paperwork, because, okay, let me slow down. There's a new program that they have now, which within 3 months, I mean, you do a test in Jamaica, and then when you come here in Canada, you basically landed. So when you landed, you land with your PR card. You know what I mean? Or within 6 months, you get your PR card. I think it's I don't know what the name of that program, but it's a bit different from the one that I came up on. That would be like a 2-year permit. The one that is going on now is within like a 6 month, 3 months, 6 months. As you come into the country, you will be able to get your PR thing, and you can bring your family up right after. So it's a quicker process. Now, guys are taking disadvantage I don't know if it's disadvantage or advantage. I don't know what they're taking, but they're doing it in such a way where the company is looking back at and they're losing. So they are afraid of doing it, and they're really not really interested in doing it because of what been happening now, right? So the complaints are that when the guys came up, right? Because remember, the company have to pay, I think it's a couple thousands to have us here as drivers, because they have to cover everything. Is a cost. There's nothing that done free, but most of the big expense is the plane fare, the training, plus what they have to do in the process of doing everything back and forth with Jamaica and all that. Yes, it's a bill towards the company, because the company are the one that looking out for the drivers. Yes, I understand that, but why would a company pay, let's say, $3,000 per driver, and after they do that, the driver come up and within 3 or 2 months they leave them, right? That is not something that would any company would be interested in doing. And now other drivers are there in Jamaica that is stuck and can't move because of the ones that came before. Well, you understand, the one that came sometime within this year to last year, somewhere in between that brackets, right? Because the complaint is coming out and it's coming from them because that program just started. So I can't go beyond 2 years because that program, I think that program started last year. So it'd have to be in last year. Those drivers came up, get the opportunity, and just messing it up for others. And why is it that it's really, yes, the companies need drivers, so that's not something that we can say, okay, they need us or they need drivers. So trust me, there's a lot of countries around Jamaica, right? What I see is going on now, the same company that those drivers mess up with, are now using other drivers from other countries that is not doing the same thing that our fellow Jamaican drivers are doing. They're basically staying on board, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and they're doing out some good runs or good time with the company. So the company are more interested in using those drivers instead of our drivers, our country. And how do I know this? Because other drivers are there working now, and that's how I get this report, so I can bring it to you guys. So if you get a chance to make it up because the company really see the interest and send for you guys and you come up, remember that other people would want that chance to come up also. Don't mess it up for everyone. You know what I mean? Don't be selfish and all for yourself, because it always have to be something like this. It's like sometimes we can't start something and just make it flow for others. We just want to do it, and we have to be someone to mess it up. Or look at it this way. I understand that a lot of you guys will see my videos before now and was saying, okay, TroyStarz did this, TroyStarz did that, right? And TroyStarz, they weren't getting the amount of pay that they should get. And TroyStarz, listen, it's at where it is now, right? At where it is now, the companies are seeing, companies are understanding what's going on, and it's not different anywhere else really, you know what I mean? But I go through, I pull through, you can too, right? And that is the purpose of my channel, is to help you guys to more understand what you're coming into and where you can go from it. So don't rush it. It's not a rush thing. It's something that takes time, sacrifice. If you know you're gonna come up on the program with the companies, under the company name, and then you're gonna took off because you're saying, okay, it's better out there or whatnot. Trust me, you may think it's better out there, but why I'm saying this is because you don't want to come up here and run off, say you want to marry to a woman or whatnot, because let me tell you this right now. The woman up here that you're gonna think you're gonna run off to, they're I'm gonna say, I'm gonna choose the best word possible, but I'm gonna say it like this: they're smarter now, right? And when I say smarter now, is that they're when you marry to that woman and run off with her, she's gonna deal with you with all the advantage that she has because you are under her. They're gonna deal with you the same way how you deal with that company. I can tell you that right now. So you don't want to take that risk. You don't want to take that chances anyway. Because as soon as it get to the point that they have to do some signing of some paper after the 2 years of what you sit down and take that treatment for, they're not going to do it. They're going to call in or file in or do something for you to get upset and then call the cops on you, and then that's it. It's done. So you want to think about what you're doing. You want to take your time. You can't listen to maybe someone that is already on the run. You can't listen to that person. You have to do what you have to do. Stick to the day one plan, and don't be everything become a problem and you want this, you want that, because then you're messing it up for everyone else. If you have that type of ways, keep it or stay where you are, or find some other way, but don't mess it up for everyone else. Just mess it up for you only, but not through the system that is going to look bad on others, right? Because it only takes a couple to do it, and then the rest follow, right? And then that's it. So I start off this video by telling you guys how it all started and where it's going. And the reason for this, like I just mentioned, is where it's going, right? Because it's not looking good. And when I heard it the first time, I'm like, really? Then I heard it the second time, and then I heard that they stopped taking up drivers, and some drivers are stuck and they're using some other drivers. And when they find out what the reason is because what a couple of drivers did when they get the opportunity. So like I said, if it happened to start again and they start looking into using Jamaican drivers, look out for your brothers. Look out for the next set that is in line with you. You may leave first, but other people are there, want to come. Don't be selfish, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, I just want to do that video just to cover that part, this part of it, so that you guys can see who are stuck and who didn't get the chance to get here. This is what's happening, and this is what the companies are seeing, right? So put yourself in the company's position. You are spending, all right, let's say the correct figure would be somewhere $3,000. You know what I mean? $1,000 there, then the plane fare from you're looking at $3,000. To be honest, this plane fare alone, I think it's $1,400. You're taking it from Jamaica, Toronto, from Toronto to Calgary, then Calgary to Castlegar, and then when you finish with Castlegar, you're coming back to Toronto, then from Toronto to Nova Scotia, right? And then the fee, it's a lot, right? So you guys, and then doing that, and let's say that they take up like 10, 15 drivers, and that's how many drivers they take at times. So you're looking at, you just multiply it 15 times 3, right? And then out of that, you have 5 drivers running off. They lose so much. Then they're like, you know what? We to hell with those drivers. We're gonna use these other drivers because we're not getting that type of thing. You know what I mean? So what do you think happened? The program stopped, and who messed it up? Just couple. You know what? Anyway, let's continue. This is just something for you guys to look into, and this is something for you guys to tell others that is already on the move or already here to us. You know what? Some of these things go up to like a 2-year program. You can stick with a company for 2 years. They have no problem in you leaving after 2 years. I mean, they invest in you. There is a reason why they do it. They didn't, because I don't know if I should explain all of this, because I expect, our people to think smart and, do better. You know what I mean? Do better in a sense where try to educate yourself on what's going on. My channel is a perfect spot for you to see where you can go, right? And what you can do. You don't have to follow me step to step, but don't mess it up for others, man. You know what I mean? It's not looking good. So I have to come on here and talk about this. This is not even a video that I want to bring up, right? But I have to say it because it's happening. But anyway, I just want to give respect to the ones that made it here first, the ones that started all of this and let us get the opportunity. Some people look at it different, but I look at it as an opportunity because of what's happening in my life at the moment. So I would want everyone to get that type of break so that, people can make changes, do what they want to do, really pursue their career, have their kids going off to college, all that. There's a lot of stuff can get done, right? And for me, you guys should know this already. I'm not that selfish type of person. I look out for others, right? Always. So, like I said, guys, I didn't want this video to be ending like this type of way, but I just want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. So do better, you know what I mean? But thanks for tuning in. You know, it's the boy TroyStarz Trucking. And like I always said, leave in the comments what you think, what you don't like, you know what I mean? Leave some advice down there. If you have an experience with what's going on, if you hear something like this before, leave it down, let me see. And if you really have something to say that is on your mind, say it in the comment section. Let me see what's going on. Subscribe if you're not already. You know it's the boy TroyStarz Trucking, right? Peace.
For more videos like this, please subscribe.